they say that it all doesn't matter because you are so insignificant compared to the vastness of the space, vastness of the universe and the existence, the whole time and space thing, right? So you're either too small or you're very short-lived, and they say that it's not going to matter from 100 years from now or from 200 years from now, right? So this is the thing. But if you think about it, even the stars, right, which are like, it's gonna exist for tens of billions of years, even they're gonna die out, right? So does it mean that the existence of stars doesn't matter? I mean, they are creating so much energy, and they are so energy, it's obviously an impact. I mean, if you're following this from my first video, so obviously that's a very impactful object, right? So are you going to say that even the star is it doesn't matter that much? So I mean, if you're going by the significance of the size or the time frame, I don't think that's the that's a proper argument, because maybe even compared to the vastness of the space, it's pretty your actions and existence are pretty tiny. But compared to the smallest of spaces, what you call the infinite small, or even the smallest of time, no one knows what the smallest of time would be, right? So compared to these, whatever you do, if you're living for 80 years or 90 years or whatever, and then you're having kids and they're going to live for some years to come, and then you're going to have a lineage. So all the actions that you do, they bear a consequence sometimes in the future, and so it all doesn't, it's not like they don't matter at all. I mean, if you're simply saying it for the size of the existence, the size and the time frame of their existence, I don't think that's the proper reason. Compared to the space, it's insignificant. I mean, significant, not very significant, but if it's compared to the smallest of spaces, it's that's how we have to take it. So at some level, it matters, right? See, the only way that you can say that none of it matters, or rather, if you say that your life doesn't matter, so the lives of no one matters, no human matters, and so is, I mean, the same thing goes on with the animals, the plants, living things, the life of the existence of no living thing matters, the existence of no molecules or atoms matter, and the ultimately existence of ether and energy doesn't matter, and yeah, I don't know if ultimately we can do without space and time or not, but I guess ether and space are something, and they're not infinite scales. I mean, they probably not are infinite scales like ether and space and time, right? So if you say the whole existence doesn't matter, I mean, who are you to even say that the whole existence doesn't matter? Existence is something, rather than nothing, something exists. And there's actually a video about a Lawrence Krauss video. I like that guy. He takes on all those phony Big Bangers and quantum quantum theorists and string theorists and all that, right? So nothing against quantum theorists, but the string theory are kind of the relativists, right? All those people, generally modern physics, I think. Anyway, he takes on all of them, and so in that video what he says is this, he says our existence is one of the many possible existences, and he doesn't necessarily agree with the Big Bang, that everything came out of nothing and all those hypotheses, but he just says it's uh, our existence is one of the many possible existences, and we just happen to have these stuff, right? But I would say that ours is the most likely possible existence, right? Because see, when Lawrence Krauss is talking about I mean, he's not really a physicist. I mean, neither am I, but I'm saying he doesn't really you know, consider everything about the existence of the fundamental particle, and he doesn't. Um, yeah, he doesn't draw his philosophy much based on the modern the hypothesis of the modern physics. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I'm talking because I'm saying something about I mean, I firmly believe that the ether is the way to explain stuff around us. If you watch my other video on ether and force, I would have mentioned how every single quarks or leptons or whatever it is, right? The most fundamental of particles is just nothing but different orientations of energy in the medium of ether. So this medium of ether is consisting of subethereal particles, but these subethereal particles are not really bound by any force amongst them. They just happen to be focused in this area momentarily, right? And just like how a cyclone is formed in an area momentarily, right? You can't really say that I mean, even if there's no intermolecular force of attractions, interparticle force of, interparticle force of attractions, the ether cloud just exists temporarily. It might just diffuse away, go away, or whatever. But right now, it's existing as a cloud, and within this medium, there is sort of energy vibrations, and it's getting oriented in different ways, and it gives rise to the different particles and all that. So this is what I believe. So ultimately, what exists are just time, space, ether, and energy, right? Like I said, time and space it's again beyond my comprehension. I think they're both infinity. If you think about them as scales, they could just go on forever and ever, right? Conceptually, time and space, they can just go on forever and ever. Whereas ether and energy could be limited. Energy just exists within the ether, tries to display the particles, but they somehow, some way, just like a toroidal vortex within a within a water, or rather a ring, a smoke ring, or a ring within a water. All these particles exist, right? Some different orientations of force. Okay, so so these things exist, and this is like I said, Lawrence Krauss says this is one of the possible existence, but I say this is the most likely possible existence because it's the simplest of all possible existence, right? Because you cannot say that nothing is the most likely existence, because see, you have to say why. If you consider these two statements, right? By default nothing should exist, or by default something exists, right? It is, you can't really give an explanation to, if you say by default nothing should exist, you need a proper reason for that. Why should nothing exist, right? So you need a solid reason for saying that nothing should ever exist. Okay, but if you say something exists, okay, yes, something exists, because it's one of the many possible. Like I said, there are many possible existences, right? Nothing is just one. the remaining 99.9999% something exists. Okay, so it is safe to say that something exists, and within the something exists, the simplest possible thing is the presence of ether and energy within the time and in space and time. Okay, so yeah, I say so. This is the simplest possible of all existence, and so yeah, existence is a good thing rather than the existence of nothing, or rather nothing. Okay, existence of something is, it is a significant thing. It's not like, if it's, you cannot say that existence doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter from your life. I mean, you're probably bored right now, you're just moving on to something else, but yeah, it's, existence is the only thing that matters. Okay, if you go by the definition of what should matter or not. Okay, nothing doesn't matter, existence matters. Okay, so from a very very fundamental level, let me see if I can sort of gather my thoughts and conclude it here. So from a very 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 fundamental level, existence matters, right? And so if existence matters, and the universe and all the stars and the dusts and everything matters, so do you. Living things matter, and they are, they make a far more reasonable impact than a non-living. Hey, let me actually clarify. When I say that living things are far more impactful on rather than non-living things, I don't know. Some people don't get it. I think they say, "Oh, it's a snake is a river is much more impactful than a snake," and they give stupid stuff. Reasons like this. They say that a sun is more impactful than an elephant or whatever bullshit. What I meant is, you take an X amount of molecules, preferably of the same element. Okay, X amount of molecules, preferably of the same combination of elements, same percentage combination of elements. Would you rather it manifests itself as a non-living thing or a living thing, right? If it's just a plain organic stuff just sitting there without doing anything, or it's less impactful than the life if it's oriented in the form of a living thing, right? So that's what I meant. So don't go compare a snake with a river like you're fucking retard, right? Like I said, X amount of molecules and the same element combination. For example, the radioactive stuffs are pretty impactful, right? Radioactive elements, so they're probably more impactful than your average living thing, I guess. So think about it that way. You try to understand why I say living things are more important. So it all matters. The existence matters, the universe matters, and so does you. Okay. So like I said, your existence matters. You're gonna be having kids. You're gonna, teach 100 people something. They're gonna grow up or turn out to be something else. So you're gonna start a company. It's gonna create some cross-continental trade or something or whatever, right? So the minute I say matter, it matters, right? People who are, I don't know, I'm not getting the word for it now, who do not like responsibility, right? They all of a sudden think that there is some sort of a commitment, or they have some sort of a responsibility towards them. That's what they think. When I say your life matters, you have to try to make an impact. I'm not saying that you cannot chill. What I'm saying is you should just chill, because see, impact matters from a higher level, right? Like I said, at the level of existence itself, just like how a star matters, even your life matters. It's in that, I don't know if you want to call it a higher level or a very from the most basic level, but whatever, at that sort of level of pondering, your life matters. But in human societies, right, at, at, at the everyday level for you, whatever thoughts you're going on, you're probably thinking, why am I not rich, why am I not more successful, why don't I have proper relationships or whatever, all those things, why am I not popular, or all those things at that level, right? In your everyday, every day you're probably not thinking about the universe and existence, right? You're probably thinking about it 0.001% of your time. And if you're not a physicist or a philosopher or whatever, every day you just mostly concerned with your life, right? So at that level, right, the only thing that matters is your peace of mind and your pleasurable moments and all that. So all I'm asking you to do is, I'm not even asking you to be a very impactful person. I'm not putting the onus or pressure on you to go on and be an impactful person like Obama or whatever, right? Or the president or the most powerful, the most influential people that can exist right now. I'm not saying that if you're not that, you have something bad. No, nothing. All I'm saying is that from a ultimate level, your life matters, but at your level, all you need to do is just have a positive frame of mind. Okay. Again, in one of my blogs, I've explained as to how you get a positive frame of mind and how you go on comparing yourself with people and all that. If you wanna spend some time to read on it, you can read up on that as well. It's like there I deal with all the everyday stuff. How you feel good about yourselves or bad about yourself when you compare yourself with other people and all that. So anyway, if you're what it is if you're a smart or good looking guy or something, you're either good in one of the three things, the inherent skill level or the pleasure level or the impact level. So if you're good on either of these three things, you can just reflect upon it and be in a positive frame of mind and all that. So but what I'm saying is just even without any reason, right? Even if you are a handicapped lunatic, what you can do is you can be in a positive frame of mind, and in this level, your life is better than someone else's. For example, a very impactful person such as Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi, even those guys are probably depressed all their lives. Even the president of the United States, maybe he has to think about a lot of shit, right? So that he's making impact, but he's too busy to just reflect upon it. Whereas you can just, for no reason at all, you can just be a happy person and you would still be better than the most influential person in this way. Okay, so you can try to be that, because this is what I think matters from a human level. You just have to be in a positive frame of mind. So if you are in a positive frame of mind, better than compared to someone else, you win. You don't have to be the most influential guy. But from an ultimate level, the impact that the humans make does matter. I hope people, at least some of you get what I'm trying to say. And if you haven't watched the first video, I guess you should have watched it first for it to make sense. Okay, alright.